Welcome you all to Network Talk. This is Sundar. Today we are talking about CCNA 200/301 new syllabuses. Cisco has updated the syllabus. In the screen you can see the six major topics of CCNA. First one is network fundamentals, second one is network access, third one IP connectivity, fourth one IP services, fifth one security fundamentals, sixth one automation and programmability. These are all the major topics for CCNA. Each topics contain some questions in CCNA exams. So we will cover all the topics in the coming up sessions. In each topics having sub topics in each ones. So which and all topics we'll cover in this CCNA course, I will show you in the coming up slides. Networking fundamentals we'll cover. First, explain the networking components like routers, switches, firewalls, and the basic functions of all the components like endpoints, servers, everything. In networking fundamentals itself, it describes the network topologies like two-tier, three-tier topologies, WAN network, small office, and home office network. All the architectures we'll see in basics and advanced levels. Then physical interface components like cabling types and fiber modes, single mode fibers, multi-mode fiber, connections, Ethernet, shared media and point-to-point connections. This kind of things we'll discuss in future sessions. In network fundamentals include identify interfaces and cable issues like collision error, mismatch of tube legs or speed, and then major topics for comparing TCP and UDP, and each protocols will see what kind of features it's in, included and which applications it's majorly used for TCP and UDP, and then configuring the IP version for addressing and subnetting. This is the very major topics for CCNA, and all the networking student or network engineer, security engineer must know the IP addressing and subnetting. So we'll cover in the coming up sessions. Then describe the need for private IP version addressing, configuring IP version 6 addressing and prefix. Future is they will use for IP version 6 addressing only for the security and availability reasons. So we'll cover that one on briefly in the coming sessions. This one I show you what are the topics I will cover in the CCNA. Now we'll see I version 6 addresses that unicast, anycast, multicast, modified UI64, verify IP parameters for client OS, three different OSs like Windows, Mac, and Linux. How we'll verify the IP versions and how to configure the IP address in different operating system. We'll see in the practical sessions. Explain the virtualization fundamentals like virtual servers, VMware, all the virtual servers and containers, and then VRFs. We'll discuss that once and describe switching concept is a major one for L1 level, and all the organizations using that switch level troubleshooting is very important. So it's MAC learning and aging out, frame switching, frame floating, MAC address table. These topics will. Second major topic is network access. In that network access, some what are the topics we'll cover? I will show you here. It's like configure and verify VLANs and spanning multiple switches. Okay, that access ports, default VLAN connectivity, default VLAN and native VLAN is there. Native VLAN we will cover in this section. Configure and verify inter-switch connectivity, trunk ports. Why we are using trunk ports? 802.1q and the native VLAN. After that, configure and verify layer 2 discovery protocols, Cisco discovery protocols, and LLTP. What is the future of the LLTP and why we are using the Cisco discovery protocols? These topics we will cover in the coming up sessions. Okay. Configure and verify layer 2, layer 3 Ether channel. Three different methods, four methods is there. We'll see in coming up sessions how it configured and what are the features where we need to use LACP and Ether channel. So we'll see that one. In network access, interpret basic operation of PVST and spanning tree. We will see the spanning tree is most important topic for the CCNA. So we will cover complete all the packet flows and how a root bridge and root bridge elections, everything will in coming up sessions. These and all the port states, how that forwarding and blocking port has been changed, port post, everything. Describe Cisco wireless architects and AP modes, physical interface connections of VLAN components, AP, VLC, WLC access, trunk ports, and LAG. This one also that access point and wireless controller management, how we are using to connect telnet, SSH, HTTPS console, and the TACUS radius is the authentication method for security reasons. It have multiple features like how we that user to access the internet or the AP to using username password, or it will be having some 5 different methods to log in the device, or what are the things is that we can use the security configuration. So we will discuss briefly about TACUS and radius in coming up sessions. Wireless LAN GUI configuration, this one, and QoS profile, everything we'll discuss later. That IP connectivity is the major topic for CCNA. Components of routing tables. Routing table, what are the things is there in OSPF and BGP? It's having different kind of routing tables. So we will see all the things in the routing part. Determine how a router makes a forwarding decision. This one also will include in routing sections, how to use static route and administrative decisions, routing protocol metrics, everything we'll see. Here we can see that IP version, IP version for static routing will. This one also we'll see in practical sessions. I will cover theory and practical for this IP version and routing itself. Configure and verify single OSPF is the major one. So we'll future sections we'll see how that OSPF protocol will work, how that packet is transmitting, how to establish the connection neighbors. Each one will discuss the theory and practical as well as, and I will share some test also. You, if you are interested, you can do the test. I will share the files with you. Then describe the purpose, functions, and concept of first hop presidency. First hop presidency, most commonly used protocol for the redundancy purpose. So we'll discuss that one also in futures. This is I am showing how the we'll start the CCNA and what are the topics we need to cover. That kind of stuff I will show you in that session. In future sessions, I will show you the each topics theory and how to configure the practical, and I will explain the things. So don't worry, we'll see the topics what under all we'll cover in the CCNA course. In IP services is the major topic for CCNA. In IP services, we'll include the NATing, NTP, THCP, DNS, SNMP. SNMP, all network engineers should have are correct that major one, and the THCP client and relay, QoS and DFTP. This kind of things also we'll explain briefly and in future sessions. Security fundamental is a major topic for CCNA, so we'll cover all the security related stuffs in these sessions. In future is related to security only, because nowadays all the communication is going through network only, so we need to ensure our security and then our organization security as well as. So this one is very important topic. I will show you the theory and some practical labs for this one. Here in CCNA security, it's nothing but it's showing a basic concept for threats, vulnerability, exploits, and mitigation techniques. Security program elements, user awareness training, how that end users should aware, email phishing. So if the any other things, if it come, that basic training we need to give, that physical access control, that things, and configure and verify device access control using local password. Describe security password policies elements such as management complexity and password alert, multi-factor authentication certificates and biometrics. I In the most commonly all the organization is using IPsec remote access and site-to-site VPNs. This one will see the practicals and as well as theory, and that IPsec packet communications in main mode and then aggressive mode, all the packets, how it's going, that what are the data included in that packet. We will discuss briefly in the future coming up sessions. And configure access control list, this one, and DHB swooping, dynamic corp inspection, port security, authentication, authorization and accounting concept, and security protocols, WBA, WBA 3, 2 and 3. What are the features added in that future versions? We'll compare these three and as well as we'll configure that one. Cisco has updated that automation and programmability sections. It include all the basic concept, how the automation is impacted network management, how Python is a Python script is using for configuring and collecting data from the network devices. That kind of basic steps included in this one, because in Cisco is aware how the in that network engineer must know the basic concept of AI and automation, programmability for Python scripting, and then some JSON encoded data. So we'll please note it down. These sections we'll discuss about future, how it's work, that based on APIs, reset based APIs, HTTP verbs, encoding. We'll discuss about in future sessions. So that's it. These 6 topics we'll cover in the coming up sessions. I am planning to upload each day, each topics with explanations and if that practicals also. So today itself I am going to start the CCNA. If anyone interested, please join us with me to improve your networking skills. Thanks for watching.